Logan.
I got your text. Oh, geez. You got some real fancy friends, you know that?
Yeah, we're not here to rub elbows. Let's go.
I'm a little underdressed. Oh.
You know my wife, Catherine, of course.
Nice.
Recognize that guy?
The river cleanup is going to have a huge impact on the quality of life in the city.
Yeah, that's Greg Turner, right? He's running for mayor again. He lost by a couple hundred votes last time.
He's with his wife, Catherine, and his campaign manager, Steve Garfield.
I haven't really been following the race, but my girlfriend's a huge fan of Turner's, actually. Says he's exactly what the city needs, you know, an honest, hardworking guy who's gonna make the city a better place.
No, that's exactly what she's supposed to believe. I want you to read him. Find out whatever you can.
You serious? Look, you want me to read the guy who's running for mayor?
Yeah, is there a problem with that?
Kind of have a rule against just randomly reading people.
There's nothing random about this. Just take my word for it.
It doesn't work that way.
How does it work?
I grab pieces of whatever a person's thinking at the time, so Turner would have to be thinking about whatever it is you think he did.
No problem. Let's go.
Well, I tell you, someone's got to get in there and clean up the corruption at City Hall.
Hello, Turner.
Detective Becker, what brings you here this evening?
Well, I just thought you might be ready to tell me what happened to Sally.
I'd do anything for you.
I'm sorry, would you give us a moment, honey?
Of course. You'll excuse us, won't you?
Yeah.
Have you met Judith? I think you two have a lot in common.
A detective, if I had any information at all that I thought useful,
You buried as deep as you could, I know. This time's gonna be different. This time, there's just nowhere for you to hide.
Detective Becker, this is a private function at the candidate's home. Perhaps you should drop by the campaign office tomorrow.
It's staff inspector now. I'm with the IIB, and we're reopening the Sally Lipton case.
I thought this was all over.
Let me take a step over here. There's somebody
Sure.
you have to meet.
What'd you get? You see anything?
Nothing concrete, but I think he knows more about the girl than he's letting on. What happened to her anyway?
Sally Lipton disappeared 3 years ago working on Turner's first campaign.
You think he had something to do with it?
Killed her. Now that I got you, I'm gonna prove it.
Murderer? Turner's the best thing the city's seen in years.
Becker thinks he's good for it.
I don't buy it. I've been writing about Turner for 3 years now. How he plans to improve public transit, build affordable housing, target corruption at City Hall. I mean, one more term with Mayor Driscoll and the city's sunk.
Don't shoot the messenger. Look, I gotta read that it looked like there's something going on between Sally and Turner.
Then why wasn't Turner arrested when she disappeared?
I don't know, but I know that Becker's reopening the case and we're investigating Greg Turner for murder. That's off the record, by the way.
Sally Lipton was only 23 years old when she disappeared 3 years ago while working as a junior fundraiser on Greg Turner's first campaign.
She looks young, even for 23.
Her mother described her as idealistic to a fault, very trusting, but also hardworking and dedicated to whatever cause she threw herself into.
And that cause was Turner?
Sally told her roommate she was off to see Turner the night she disappeared. She was never seen again.
You think there was something going on between the two?
She was young and infatuated. He's a politician. You do the math.
I saw Sally in Turner's mind. I mean, nothing explicit, but she was definitely infatuated with him.
An affair with a girl that young would have tarnished his good guy image, ruined his political chances for good.
So Turner thinks she'll talk?
And then he kills her to keep her quiet. Yeah, that's the direction we were headed at Metro.
But you guys can never prove it?
No, never found a body. Never found out where she was meeting Turner either. In fact, he had an alibi provided by his wife.
Catherine Turner runs a big eco-charity. It depends almost exclusively on private donations from wealthy patrons.
She said that he was home with her all night. I don't buy that.
You really think she'd cover for a cheating husband?
She had a lot at stake, too.
Yeah, I think she lied. I think Turner's good for this.
I'm having all the stored evidence from the Metro case sent over ASAP.
Thank you, Corporal Sergeant. I sent over a list of all the people that we interviewed in the first investigation.
All right, we'll start with the roommate. She was the last one to see Sally alive.
And I want reads on absolutely everyone, no exceptions.
Yes, sir.
This one got away from me the first time. Don't let me down on this.
All right, he's acting like I'm his personal superpower.
He's still getting used to how your reads work, okay? And if he's right about Turner...
Well, he better be right, because if Tia had to choose between me or Turner this morning...
You would be the first one to lose out to a guy with a bigger platform. Let's figure out what happened to her. Come on.
She was my best friend, and then she was just gone.
It must have been very difficult for you.
It still is. But I've already told the police everything I know. Sergeant Becker interviewed me over and over again.
Well, he hopes by reopening the case with us, having fresh eyes and ears, we might get a new lead or jog loose a new memory.
I just don't know what else I can tell you.
Start from the beginning, pretend like we know nothing. You were the last person to see Sally alive.
She rushed in and out that night. Said she was going to meet Turner. I won't be late.
In your initial interviews, you said that you thought that they were having an affair.
She never said anything, but I know they were. Turner was all she ever talked about, and she'd become really secretive in the last few weeks.
You know if she was messaging Turner or if they were having a relationship online?
I don't know. I know the police couldn't find any proof of an affair or a secret meeting, and that Turner just denied everything. But I know it was him. She went to meet Turner, and then she never came back.
So you're telling me the IIB thinks that Turner killed somebody and is covering it up?
Keep your voice down.
Well, I think everyone would have heard about it by now. That's like international front page headline news.
Yeah, tell me about it. Now that I can use it. It's a problem with living with an IIB op. You get all this great stuff, you can't write it. And you cannot say a word.
My lips are sealed, okay? It's the bartender's oath. This is like attorney-client confidentiality here.
Good. But I don't buy it. I've met Turner. He is a great guy.
I think so, too. I mean, I've never met the guy. I've seen his face on bus benches. But the IIB thinks that he killed somebody and is covering it up.
Toby's boss thinks so.
Well, Becker? Nah, that hardly means it's the truth.
You don't even know him.
Hey, I met Becker before you were even in the picture, young lady. And I know the type, okay? He's like a dog with a bone. He gets an idea in his head and he doesn't let it go. How do you think he figured out Toby has his, thing he has? He just kept pounding and pounding until he cracked it.
And he was right about that, right? So, I guess that means he could be right about this, too.
No. He got lucky once, okay? I'm willing to bet that Turner is still the guy that he says he is, okay? The guy he seems to be and the guy that this city needs.
Ugh. Mayor Driscoll is an embarrassment. Do you know what? I have friends who run the city hall beat. They say we don't even know the half of it. I mean, drinking in the office, women coming and going at all hours, hitting on everything that moves. It's gross.
It's about time we change things. It's about time someone did something to change things for a change.
What?
You know what? I think I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring. Not like I run for mayor, but I mean, this is a hub of public discourse and citizenry and whatnot.
What are you gonna do? Because buying votes with alcohol is kind of illegal.
That's not the idea. Although in this case, you have to admit, it'd be pretty good.
So what are you gonna do?
I don't know yet. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you, okay? It's gotta be perfect. As for Turner, Toby knows what he's doing. He'll do the right thing.
Even if his boss pushes him in the wrong direction? Becker's got a lot of power, and now with Toby's gift, he's got even more.
There was no affair. The girl was fixated on Turner, worshipped the ground that he walked on, but it was totally one-sided.
So why did he set up the meet with her?
She didn't. You guys have all the phone records, the emails, the texts.
Right, but he probably had a burner phone. Politicians usually do when they're having illicit affairs with very young women.
Look, you guys have got this all wrong. Turner's a good man, and a man the city desperately needs if we're gonna be rid of our lousy excuse of a mayor. But your boss is on a one-man crusade to ruin him.
I'm gonna take you down, Turner. That's a promise.
So why do you think Becker has it out for Turner?
Because he can't accept that he got it wrong, didn't crack the case. Maybe you two haven't noticed, but the guy's a bit of a strong arm.
Thank you for your time.
Okay.
All right, what'd you get?
Well, the roommate Veronica is pretty convinced there was something going on between Sally and Turner.
I saw Sally online at night. She was on a webpage with a flying horse on it.
A flying horse? A file storage site I know has something like that.
Come on, how do you do that? Yeah, that's it.
We'd never found anything like this in the first investigation.
Let me look into it. Even if the account's been deleted, there still may be fragments of files buried deep in the server.
Who else did you get?
The campaign manager, Steve, is just as convinced there was nothing going on.
But you read him, right? I mean, he's lying.
I don't think so. He may not be right, but he believes what he said.
I thought this gift of yours was supposed to make solving cases easier.
It's not really that straightforward.
Starting to see that. Please tell me you got something else off him.
Nothing relevant now.
That's great. It's just great. So we haven't been able to clarify motive at all. All right, well, let's see how we do on opportunity. Go talk to Turner's wife. She's the one who supplied the alibi. See what you can read, push her hard, then use that information to get her to recant. And this time, please come back with something concrete. I'm not watching this creep waltz his way into City Hall without a fight.
How'd the campaign manager put it again?
Something about a strong arm.
Guys, so I was talking to an old friend at Metro, you know, when they were sending over the old IT files.
And?
And during the first Sally Lipton investigation, Becker was sanctioned after Turner lodged a harassment complaint. It took him 2 years to get his next promotion. What?
Toby, you got a read from the campaign manager.
I heard Becker threatened Turner. He said he was going to take him down.
Well, he wouldn't be the first cop who got obsessed with the Wrong Men's Guild.
Or he's just trying to get that black check mark taken off of his record.
All right, so he's not the biggest fan of the guy, but do you guys think he's going to go that far?
No. But I mean, how well do we really know him?
Well, yeah, he does only seem to be looking for whatever reads make Turner look good for it.
Okay, so what do we do?
First, we go talk to the wife. If Toby says the alibi sticks, gloves come off.
I can offer you tea. I'm afraid there's not much else in the house with all the campaigning.
It's fine, Mrs. Turner. We won't be long. We just have a couple of questions for you.
Anything I can do to help? I didn't know Sally well, but she was an intern at my charity before she moved over to the campaign.
What her poor family must be going through. Mrs. Turner, it's been suggested that Sally and your husband were having an affair.
My husband isn't that kind of man, and he'd never take advantage of a young woman's trust.
Good to a fault. Well, Sally's roommate said that Sally was meeting your husband the night that she disappeared. That doesn't concern you at all?
How could it? Greg was home with me from 7 o'clock on.
You're certain?
He was asleep on that couch 10 minutes after he walked in the door.
Honey, wake up.
I coaxed him up to bed around midnight. The usual routine during an exhausting campaign.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. If there's anything else.
Sweetheart? I saw the car out front. I didn't know we were expecting anyone. You were at the fundraiser last night.
That's right. We're from the IIB. We're investigating Sally Lipton's disappearance.
First, you confront me at a private function, and now here you are harassing my wife.
Greg, please.
No, sweetheart. This is unacceptable. It's gone too far. This is blatant police targeting days before the election, and I won't stand for it.
You think the police should be concerned with optics, Mr. Turner?
I think your boss is trying to destroy me to protect his own career. And if you're not careful, he's going to bring you down with him. I'll see to it.
Thank you for your time.
So was I reading you right in there?
The wife's telling the truth. Saw Turner asleep on the couch the night Sally disappeared.
You sure?
Yeah, I think Becker's out for the wrong man, bringing us down with him.
You sure that's what you saw?
Look, it was a clear read. I saw him asleep on the couch.
So you see a calendar, you see a clock on the wall. How do you know Turner's wife was even
Memories
thinking of it
usually
right
flow
now?
from the question being asked. It's not
Then you
pure
asked the wrong
science.
questions. Get back there, talk to her again, and get me something I can use.
Sergeant.
Look, I understand where you're coming from.
You do.
You feel in your gut that Turner's good for this, and you want to follow that instinct. We've all been there.
Get to the point, McCluskey.
You're being an ass.
Excuse me?
We're running out of leads on Turner, just like you did back at Metro, and you're too blind to see it. If you don't back up and take a look at the brick wall that you're running all of our heads into, you're going to end up sanctioned for the second time.
Sit down. You ever have an unsolved case like this?
Of course, we all have.
Sally's mother calls me once a month looking for an update. Once a month for 3 years, and every time I gotta tell her, I've got nothing.
That's why you can't let this go.
Is there a competing theory out there? Let me guess. They think that I'm trying to move up the ladder by getting a conviction on Mr. Clean. Get that citation removed from my file, is that right?
They won't anymore.
Next time Sally's mother calls, I'm gonna have answers.
Yeah, you will. But you need to let us start looking at other options.
Becker says that we can widen up the investigation and ease up on Turner.
You hypnotized him, right?
That was plan B. Dev, tell me you have something.
Well, it's something. I managed to locate fragments of deleted files from Sally's canceled Andromeda account, but it's just bits and pieces.
I'm kidding. It's just a jumble of words and short phrases.
Right now, but if I run it through a program that orders everything according to frequency of repetitions...
The more she used a word, the higher up on the list it went.
That's right. So once you get through the obvious words, and, the, etc.
You get Turner like hundreds of times.
Well, that's not unusual. I mean, she worked for him, right?
She did. Then there's this.
Keller. Who's Keller?
I don't know, but her deleted files have that name even more than Turner's.
And she transferred all the files mentioning Keller to a flash drive before deleting them, all on the same night she disappeared.
We all assumed that Sally was emailing Turner late at night to try to hide their affair.
Maybe she was hiding something else.
Did the roommate ever mention anything about Keller in the initial interviews?
No one did. Like I said, it's not much.
What if she was seeing someone else?
Well, the roommate said that she had crazy hours. Maybe this Keller person did too.
Let's go speak to the campaign boss.
Keller isn't a person. The Keller Company is one of our biggest campaign contributors.
Well, what can you tell us about them?
They focus on green products, recycling programs, solar research.
Have any idea what connection Sally might have had to the Keller Company? Something she wanted to keep secret?
I have no idea. The head of fundraising handles all their contributions personally. Now, Sally would have had nothing to do with them. We lose Keller, we lose everything.
So who do we contact there?
You have heard of something called obstruction of justice, right? It comes with a nice long prison term.
His CEO's name is Dylan Stewart. His offices are down on Adelaide.
Thank you. You see the look he gave me?
Good thing I know CPR.
Now you're after the Keller Company?
We're not after anyone.
It sounds like Becker is. He's gunning for Turner, and now he wants to drag a company who should be given Earth Day awards into this witch hunt.
Tia, a witch hunt? It's an investigation.
Verging on police harassment if it's not there already. I'm not the only one who's made that accusation, am I?
Becker got into a little heat the last time he worked this case.
It just makes me wonder about his political leanings.
Political leanings?
You asked Turner's biggest contributor questions that link him to Sally's disappearance? They could drop him. Toby, done, over. We're back to Mayor Driscoll and his wall-to-wall corruption.
Look, Sally was 23 years old. I think her family deserves some answers, don't you?
Hey, who wants a beer?
I do.
What color?
Color?
Oh, well, you see, we're running an informal election-based poll, completely unbiased. We've colored 2 of the drafts, one for each of the leading candidates, and we're going to be tallying up the orders for each.
So what's Turner's color? I'll have a non-alcoholic one of those.
Green it is. You know, because he's so eco. And for you, sir?
What color is the current mayor's?
Oh, well, Driscoll's is a delicate shade that we're referring to as gutter scum. It's kind of a reddish, brownish, sort of sickly.
It's totally unbiased.
2 greens it is.
Look, I just needed to talk to get this off my chest. I'm not comfortable with this investigation either.
A young girl's missing. I get it. I do.
So shouldn't I do whatever I can to find out what happened to her?
Yes, of course. But in this case, I think Becker's turned you into his own illegal wiretapping service. And I don't think that's why you joined the IIB.
If Tia's right and this is police harassment.
Well, everyone has to answer to the law. Mr. Stewart, we're with the IIB. We have a few questions for you regarding Sally Lipton's disappearance.
I was glad to hear you reopen the case.
What do you mean she found out? Who the hell is this girl?
Oh, so you knew Sally Lipton?
Well, no, I never met the girl, but everyone from the campaign was talking about it at the time.
She was very interested in your company. Do you have any idea why?
Lots of young people are interested in the Keller Company. It's not that surprising.
Do you know why she was researching you guys, or what you might have found out?
I put bolt on it. Don't worry.
Sorry, no. And I apologize, but I've got a meeting across town that I'm already late for.
So you don't know what happened to Sally?
No, of course not.
Take care of it.
It's not... I only wish I could help. If there's anything else, please don't hesitate.
We won't.
I think I might have just seen Sally's killer.
Keller's not a person, it's a company, and it's a contributor to Turner's campaign.
When we interviewed the CEO, Dylan Stewart, got a read of this guy here.
Who is that?
We're not sure, but we think that his last name might be Bolt.
That's right. I got a clear read of Dylan telling Bolt to take care of it.
I've never even seen these guys before.
The Keller Company was Turner's biggest campaign contributor, but Sally had no direct contact with them.
So then why'd the CEO want to kill her?
Something she knew. I saw Dylan on the phone promising to keep her quiet.
I think that she may have found out some dirt on the company.
I've taken a cursory look at Keller Company and Stewart, but nothing appears out of line.
Keep looking and find this mystery man.
Yes, sir.
Toby and I will go talk to the roommate again. Maybe she knew what Sally found out and just didn't realize it was important.
Thanks. Hey, just hold up a sec, guys. Listen, I got a call from the superintendent this morning.
About what?
Well, she told me in not so many words to back off Turner until after the election.
So because he's a politician, he gets a get-out-of-jail-free card?
Yeah, something about not interfering with the democratic process.
But the investigation is steering away from Turner now. We're looking at the Keller Company at this point.
Which happens to be one of Turner's biggest campaign contributors. Listen, all that matters is if we don't back down now, you guys could end up with black marks in your records. I should know. I can't drag you down with me.
Show's right. The law shouldn't apply differently to different people.
We go where the evidence leads us.
I don't remember Sally ever talking about the Keller Company.
What about this guy, Dylan Stewart? Do you recognize him?
I've never seen him before. But I think I recognize him.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was the cop that came by later and picked up the rest of Sally's stuff.
I've already told the other detectives from Metro everything I know.
You mean the police came back?
It was a couple weeks after she was gone. He came by and practically cleared out the place.
Did he show you a badge?
No, I don't think so. You think it was him?
So Sally's got something on the Keller Company.
Right, which she was working on secretly, and I think is on that flash drive.
She confronts Dylan with the info, threatens him maybe.
Right, and Dylan gets our mystery man to kill her.
And then the same guy poses as a cop to try to get the drive from the rest of her things.
But why kill her when you don't have all the evidence? It doesn't add up.
I ran the sketch from Toby's read through facial recognition with the last name Bolt, and boom, I got a hit.
Nice.
First name's Martin. He's a security expert. I'll text you his current address.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Well, the informal poll has Turner winning by a landslide. Apparently only 3 people out of 100 ordered the gutter scum. Hey, what's with the long face?
You're a Turner supporter, right?
Well, officially I'm unbiased, but yes, 100% I am in the Turner camp.
What if Toby's boss is right? What if Turner isn't the good guy? I think he is, and I just don't want to believe it. What if he's just a slimy politician who's played me?
Well, I think you still gotta believe in heroes, even if sometimes you get it wrong.
Well, that might be okay for regular people.
I like to consider myself extra regular.
I didn't mean that. I mean, I'm a journalist.
Like clockwork.
It's my job to keep an objective stance. I'm worried I let blind faith cloud my coverage of this guy.
Tia, you are a fantastic reporter. Okay, your column is like the only thing I read that's not fantasy basketball news. Okay, your job is to just keep trying to get it right. That's what you do.
Thank you, Oz.
And don't lose faith in the good guys. Now, can I interest you in one of our candidate sandwiches?
Sure.
Okay, we've got the Turner, which is free-range chicken and organic arugula on an artisanal spelt roll.
You know what? I'll take the Driscoll, just to maintain my neutrality.
Okay, 1 canned pork product on a day-old bun coming up.
We have a witness who will testify that you impersonated a police officer to steal personal belongings from a murder victim.
Eyewitness testimony is notoriously unreliable, especially 3 years out. My client denies any knowledge of Sally Lipton or her disappearance.
You know, you're a pretty high-priced muzzle for a glorified security guard. Who's paying your bills, Martin?
Don't answer that.
Dylan Stewart? Keller Company?
Just keep your mouth shut, Martin, and you're safe.
He hired you, didn't he? Hired you to kill Sally?
Don't say anything.
Is there something about the right to remain silent that eludes you?
He told you to take care of it, and you did.
Stop harassing my client.
He can remain silent. That doesn't mean we have to.
You lured her out into the woods, somewhere her body would never be found.
are you? Where's Mr. Turner?
Somewhere far out, you pretended to be Turner and you killed her. You killed Sally Lipton.
No. No, I didn't.
Martin's telling the truth. He didn't kill her.
How can you see him not do something?
He was there. He met Sally the night she disappeared, same red coat. That's it. I accused him of killing her, and I just saw images of him walking away. Nothing of the murder.
If he didn't kill her, what was he doing there?
I don't know.
I mean, you don't know. You're a mind reader.
How about we stop hitting our heads against brick walls and focus on finding that meeting spot?
All right. It was in a park. There was a stone well, and there was a statue of a soldier with the word bravery on a plaque. I mean, if I saw it, I would recognize it.
Let's see what I can find.
We running some kind of fancy imaging software?
Sort of. I'm typing statue, soldier, and bravery into a geospecific search engine, and I'm just gonna hit return.
It's amazing. That's it.
That's High Park, the south entrance by the woods.
Call a K9 unit. Did a cadaver dog down there.
You don't think that's a bit premature?
Sally didn't make it out of those woods. I think we all know that.
Red jacket. It's her.
Yep. Get the body to a coroner for a positive ID.
Yes, sir.
Good work, Logan.
Oh, we gotta find who did this.
What's that?
Found in the well with the body.
Let's see.
There's thousands of dollars here.
What was she doing with all that money?
Preliminary autopsy shows Sally died from a gunshot wound to the chest. There's no trace yet on the bullet.
There's $20,000 found in the bag that was buried with her, but no prints on the money or the bag.
Do we have any good news?
There's this. It's found in Sally's coat pocket.
Is that the missing flash drive?
Do you know what's on that?
Not yet. There's a lot of corrosion. I'll see what I can get.
Okay, so why did Sally have 20 grand with her? You know, maybe she wasn't as innocent as she seemed.
Let's get Martin Bolt back in here. Now that we got a body, let's see if we can't make him crack.
Come on now. Time for you to get all cleaned up.
Hey, Alex.
Hey.
So Dev said you were working on the flash drive, and we're just waiting for a unit to pick up Martin Bolt, so I thought I'd check in and see how it's going.
Yeah, sorry I've completely taken over your space, but the lab's all backed up and Dev said that you needed this pronto, so...
Yeah, no, of course, that's fine. How's it going?
Slow, but that's usual. First, I have to make sure all the liquid has evaporated, but then it's left behind residue and contaminants, even salt that wreak havoc on the connectors.
So would that be why my cell didn't work when I dropped it in the kitchen sink?
Exactly.
Okay.
But with a little time and effort, each bit of delicate circuitry can be cleaned, and with any luck...
I think we're gonna need more than luck. Certainly more than Sally had.
It's awful to think that she was down there all that time. Such a cold and lonely place.
Yeah, it's always difficult, especially when the victim is that young, right?
Must hit a little bit closer to home.
Now that I have a daughter of my own, I can't even imagine what Sally's mom has had to go through.
Becker tries to hide it, but I can tell he's feeling for her, too.
Yeah, maybe there's more to Becker than we all thought. I think the most important thing now is to find Sally's killer and then make sure that he pays.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this flash drive will cooperate.
How soon before you'll know?
As soon as I charge it up and see if it blows.
Okay, well, fingers crossed.
Hey, Michelle, they got Martin Bolt in the box for you.
Let me know when you have something.
Will do.
Hey, Alex.
Hey.
Do you mind if I...
Sure, yeah.
Wow, it's really coming along.
Thanks.
You did really great work.
Thank you.
Let me know when you're ready. Give it a go.
Okay. Can't wait.
I had nothing to do with killing that girl. That is the straight-up truth.
So you didn't get a message to her pretending to be Turner to set up that meet?
Mr. Bolt, I'd advise you not to implicate yourself or others.
But we know the two of you were there in the woods. If not to kill her, then why were you there? Okay. You gave her the 20,000, didn't you?
Mr. Bolt?
It was a payoff, wasn't it? Who sent you?
Just tell her to keep her mouth shut. Take care of it. Take care of it.
She knew something about the Keller Company. The CEO didn't want anyone to find out.
Mr. Bolt, need I remind you that certain parties will be very unhappy if you continue to cooperate.
You know what? Can I give you a little heads up as well? You're looking at a life sentence here.
Would Sally know they got her killed?
I don't know what she knew. Yeah, but I know this. That girl was alive when I left her.
Look, Bolt's telling the truth. That's all he knows.
So Bolt didn't pull the trigger, who did?
Dylan Stewart.
No, why pay a guy to deliver a bribe and then kill the girl? Why leave 20K down in that well? It doesn't make any sense.
Guys, I know what Sally Lipton found out. I was able to salvage enough information off the damaged drive to figure out what she was working on so secretively. She was investigating every major donor in the Turner campaign.
Including the Keller Company.
She was a fundraiser for the campaign and a huge admirer of his. So.
She was making sure all of the donors were on the up and up.
Exactly. She was on the same path that I've been looking into. The Keller Company was owned by someone else, a numbered corporation, and there's nothing unusual about that, except that that company was owned by another company, and that was owned by another company, and so on and so on and so on.
Okay, so who actually owns the Keller Company?
Well, that question was not so easy to answer. It would have taken Sally weeks to track down. Ownership of the Keller Company went from coast to coast to overseas to the Canary Islands to Monaco. All numbered companies, all very difficult to trace.
Corporal.
Sorry. Our squeaky clean eco company is owned by none other than...
Superior Contracting. Well, that's basically another name for the mob.
And they've made millions building shoddy roads all across this city and been accused multiple times of bribing city officials to secure contracts.
So Turner's being funded by the same corruption that he's campaigning against here.
Exactly. They're corrupt, they're powerful, and they've got a ton to lose. I mean, if they don't have a connection in City Hall, they're basically out of business. Alex.
Okay, so Sally found out that the Keller Company was dirty.
Right, she tells Turner, who tells Dylan and decides to bribe her, sends Bolt with the money.
Yeah, but that's not good enough for Turner. He doesn't want her to talk, so he waits until Martin is gone, and then he silences her for good.
So Alex was able to track that book bag by its label. It's made by a lady. She runs a little shop, and each one is one of a kind. It was purchased 3 years ago on his credit card, and the clerk even remembers selling it to him. In fact, she's some kind of a fan. Alex just sent us a picture of the candidate with the bag.
That's it. We got him.
Now, that only connects Turner to the bribe. That doesn't put the gun in his hand.
No, why would he use a bag that could trace back to him?
No, I don't think he meant to leave the bag behind. He killed her, and things just went sideways from there.
What if we charge him and we're wrong?
All right. We could be walking into a whole pile of it here, but there's only one way of finding out.
All right, we'll go get the answers you need.
Are you sure it's her?
Positive. She was shot and killed after receiving a $20,000 payoff from you and Dylan Stewart.
No, it's ridiculous. My husband would never bribe anyone.
This can't be happening. Can't be happening.
Sally figured out that one of your contributors was crooked, and she was naive enough to believe that you didn't know about it.
I didn't know. I had no idea Keller was associated with those lowlives at Superior until you just told me. Just now.
Well, it was Dylan's idea to bribe her, but that wasn't good enough for you, was it?
What? No.
You made sure that Martin Bolt was gone, and then you killed her.
I have to make him believe me. You have no evidence to support this, and you can't prove anything because I didn't do anything.
This was found with her body.
Where'd you get these?
Greg? What is it?
You were right. You've been right all along. I killed Sally Lipton.
No, that's a lie. You were asleep on that couch for hours and hours. I know you were.
know he was asleep on the couch because you drugged him.
Don't say anything, Catherine.
No, you weren't lying when you gave us your husband's alibi. You knew he was on the couch because you made sure of it. Yeah, you had to make sure that he didn't know that you left the house that night.
Catherine, I think we should call our lawyer.
How did you find out that Sally knew about the Keller company?
I don't want him to get in trouble. You know so much about these things.
She came to you for advice, didn't she? She didn't want him to get in trouble. Is this your bag? Is that a gift from your husband?
Catherine, you don't have to say anything.
How long did you know that he was getting money from the same corrupt people that he was running against?
Greg's a good man. He believes he can change things without making backroom deals. Sally Lipton was just like him. I told Dylan we couldn't buy her silence with a bribe.
So you killed her?
You did this. You think you can buy me off with money? I'm calling Mr. Turner. And then I'm calling the police.
I can't let you do that.
Greg, I only did it for you. Please, you have to believe me. I couldn't stand by and watch him bring you down. Please.
You killed someone to win an election.
Catherine Turner signed confession. She and Spear Contracting had a deal from the get-go. They created an eco-company as a front to funnel funds into her husband's campaign.
I guess they were expecting some pretty juicy road contracts once he was in power.
Yeah, she would have had access to a lot of confidential information. Would have made winning those contracts a piece of cake.
She thought her husband was going to make a big difference in the lives of a lot of people.
So she made a deal with the devil.
And then she sacrificed a young girl's life to cover it up. Turner's backing out of the race, citing personal issues. I guess that's too bad. Because in the end, he was exactly the guy that he said he was. Thank you, by the way.
No problem. It's what we do.
Hey, can we buy you a drink? This is a long, hard road for you.
No, thank you. I got something that I've been waiting a long time to do.
Sally's mom.
She gets closure. Good. So you were right. Turner's one of the good guys.
And I'm guessing Metro will be going after Superior Contracting for legal campaign contributions?
Yeah, well, Dylan Stewart's gonna go down for extortion, along with Martin Bolt.
And Catherine Turner killed her all because she knew Sally would never break her principles and take a bribe.
Hey, where are you going? Where are you going?
Are you kidding me? Quite the story to write.
Huh? Hey, what's going on? What you got? Want some leftovers? Sounds great.
Mulligan stew. Got kind of tired of the whole mayoral race after Turner dropped out, so threw all the specials into a bowl, added some green beer, and stirred.
Sounds interesting. What does it taste like?
Politics.